I'm with the Orientation and Transition Programs office here at UNT. It's also known as OTP. So if you hear me referencing it as OTP, that's just a short nickname for our office. And we are located on the 3rd floor in the University Union. All right, my name is Lauren Piepenberg. I'm a graduate assistant for orientation and new student programs within the OTP office. I am from Parker, Colorado. That's about 45 minutes southeast of the Denver area. I just graduated from Texas Tech University this past May with a degree in animal science. I'm now part of the student affairs cohort in the higher education master's program here at UNT. So now I'm just going to be going over just what some of the general stuff that our office does and the different programs that can be found within our office. All right, oops, sorry. So orientation at UNT. Orientation is required for all new undergraduate students to UNT, and we do offer an optional concurrent parent and family orientation. It does have an additional registration and fee, so if that is something you or your family would be interested in doing, definitely check that out. Orientation is a time for new students to receive academic advising for the upcoming semester, learn about different support services available to UNT students, hear from current students on how to get involved, participate in small group meetings to make connections with other new students, as well as an opportunity to stay overnight in a residence hall here on campus. Awesome. So senior year experience is another opportunity that our office provides. It just gives students the opportunity to transition to UNT a little bit early, kind of check out what we have to offer. So that can be done through our junior and senior days, as well as various workshops for new students. We do have additional information about what those events are going to look like in the coming semesters, so keep an eye out on that. If you do have any questions or just want some more information about the senior year experience, you can contact Corinne French at corinne.french@unt.edu, or you can just use that email that's at the bottom of that slide. Awesome. So parent programs is another big part of the OTP office. A big part of our parent programs is our parent association. So the membership through PA helps provide scholarships to parent association students. And that could be seen as $50 plus $500 draw scholarships that are given out annually, as well as $5,000 academic scholarships that are also given out annually. There's also opportunity for fellowship and socialization, finals week, goodie boxes, and as well as merchandise sales. And if you have any questions about the Parent Association or parent program, or just want some more information about what we do for parents through the OTP office, you can contact Carter Bergs at parents@unt.edu. All right, so transition programs at UNT is a big part of what our office does, and we really want to help students transition to UNT, and we also want to help students and their families with that transition to UNT. So one of our big programs is our First Flight Week. This is UNT's Welcome Week program designed to help new students begin their college experience on the right foot. So it provides a lot of really great opportunity for UNT students to meet other students, as well as learn more about different resources and services that we have on campus for them, especially during their first year. Eagle Camp is an awesome optional extended orientation camp. It is a 2-day overnight off-campus experience created to welcome new students to the UNT family by providing them with an opportunity to connect with friends and learn more about UNT spirit and tradition. A big important goal of Eagle Camp is just allowing these students to have a friend before they come to the semester. So it's a great opportunity to meet new students so that when you do arrive in the fall, there's a familiar face on campus. And we do provide first year programming. This is a big part of what my GA position does. We provide a lot of first year programming for our new students. One project that I'm really excited about is our AIM Leadership Seminar. So it's for ambitious, involved, and motivated students. It's just an opportunity for students to kind of build on those first year leadership development skills. So especially if students are interested in becoming an orientation leader or becoming a resident assistant while they're here at UNT. And we do provide mentoring programs, so peer mentoring is super big on campus. So definitely check that out if your student is interested in becoming a peer mentor or would like to be part of a peer mentoring program. Awesome, so that's just a little bit of what the OTP office does and the various offices and programs that we have within OTP. So now I'm going to go into just the general University Success 101, just some tips that come from our office as well as myself as a college student. So what makes a successful student? So a successful student is made up of 3 things. They're an effective time manager, engaged and involved, and confident in their abilities. So the first piece to being an effective time manager is writing everything down. So be sure to utilize a planner, virtual calendar, whether that's on your phone, laptop, or on your Outlook calendar, whatever system works best for you. It's really important to find a system that works for you as a student, and just make sure that that's something that you can utilize and will actually be checking every day. Don't forget the small things. When you start forgetting to write down the small things, that's when things start to fall through the cracks. So if a due date is changed or a homework assignment is canceled, make sure you're writing those things down so that you're staying organized throughout your semester. Combine your course syllabi with your calendars. Do this during your first week of classes. This is a really big one that I do every year. I've been doing it for the past 5 years as a college student. It's super helpful to just sit down and get all of those syllabi transferred into your planner or your calendar. That way you have all your due dates, your tests, any kind of class presentations, you have them all written down. That way, as you look at your semester, you're able to plan things accordingly. Say, hey, I have 2 tests in October. I need to make sure I'm setting down the appropriate time to study for those 2 tests. So super important. I recommend just getting that done your first week during syllabus week, since it's already a pretty calm week. Second piece to being an effective time manager is creating a routine. So find a schedule routine that works for you as an individual. So your routine may be a little bit different than your roommates or your other friends. You may be an early riser and like to go to bed early, or you may like to study at night versus in the morning. Find out what works for you and find a plan that fits your needs. So whether or not that's balancing work, school, homework, if you're involved in any sort of clubs and organizations, and any kind of events you might be participating in. As well, make sure your routine balances your academic and your social life. Your first job is being a student here at UNT, but make sure that you find that balance. We want you to enjoy your time here at UNT, so make sure you're finding that balance and you're taking advantage of all the opportunities that UNT has to offer for you. All right, so the third piece to being an effective time manager is getting support. So get the help that you need to get the job done, whether or not that's reaching out to friends, teachers, counselors, advisors, making sure you're getting help so that you are successful while you're here at UNT. Be sure to utilize on-campus and community support systems. A really great example is our student support services. They provide different things such as academic advising, tutoring, career services, and cultural enrichment opportunities, and so much more. This is just one of the many great support systems that we have here at UNT to help you get things done, be successful as a student. So make sure that you're reaching out and getting that support you need. A final piece to being an effective time manager is working hard. I know this one kind of seems like a given, but work hard and get comfortable with what works for you. Like I mentioned before, everyone's going to be a little bit different. You may study differently. You may go through college a little bit differently. So find what works for you. Aim high with your grades. College is essentially a chance for a fresh start. Everyone starts with a 4.0 that first semester that they're here. So aim high with your grades. You're starting with a 4.0. Stay strong. Your first semester on campus is going to be really important. And also, it's okay to make adjustments. So the way you studied in high school may not be the way that you study in college, and that's totally okay. High school is very different from college. It's supposed to be different. So make sure if things are changing, if you're not learning the same way that you felt you did in high school, it's okay to make those adjustments, and it's okay to reach out to figure out how to make those adjustments. The second piece to being a successful student is being engaged and involved. This is a super important piece to me. Being engaged and involved really changed and shaped my undergraduate career. As mentioned before, you are a student first, but take advantage of all that UNT has to offer. College is a time to fill your resume with meaningful experiences, and don't miss out on the opportunity to make meaningful connections and interact with various students, faculty, and staff. There are 400 student organizations to explore, so that's so many opportunities for you to become engaged and be involved on campus. One of my really good tips that I always give to my students is getting involved for your first year in 2 things. So one thing that benefits you academically or professionally, so something that's going to help you grow as a student or as a professional in your intended career field. Second, get involved in something that benefits you either personally or serves as a stress reliever. So something that is going to be fun and exciting for you to participate in. So for me, my freshman year, I wanted to go to vet school my freshman year. I was a pre-vet major, so I was involved in the pre-vet society, and I participated in intramural sports. So Pre-Vet Society was something I was interested in. I wanted to go to vet school, so they had really great resources for me to get kind of engaged in that community. And then intramural sports was a really great stress reliever for me. It gave me, a couple hours a week to get away from studying and stressing about tests. So it was something fun. I made a lot of really great friends through that. So I think it's a really great tip just for especially your first year. You don't want to go overboard with getting involved. So I think just getting involved in two things, especially that meet those criteria, is a really great tip going into your first year as a student. If you have any questions about being involved at UNT or just want some more information about our organization, you can contact Succeed at UNT at succeed@unt.edu. That email is also listed at the bottom of the slide. Okay, awesome. And the final piece in becoming a successful student is being confident in your abilities. So self-efficacy is a great way to kind of determine how you're going to be confident in your abilities. And so self-efficacy is the extent or strength of one's belief in one's own ability to complete tasks and reach goals. So understanding what self-efficacy means to you as a student is going to be super important in how you become confident in your abilities as a student here at UNT. Some important things to remember: each student is different. Don't compare yourself to others. Everyone learns differently. Everyone goes through this transition differently. So it's okay if you're a little bit ahead of everyone or if you're a little bit behind everyone. Each student is going to be completely different, and their college experience is going to be different every time. Another thing, look at how far you guys have come. Be proud of what you have already accomplished. You guys are already taking that important next step at learning more about what your academic career is going to look like after you graduate high school. So be proud of what you guys have done. If you're at UNT, be proud that you've already made that big step and you guys are already looking to become a better student. And remember, college is supposed to be hard. Don't forget that. It's not going to be a walk through the park. You're going to struggle, and it's okay. If you're struggling, we're here to help you. Like I said before, you can reach out to the OTP office. You can reach out to different services that we have on campus. Our main job is to make sure that you guys are successful as a student and that you enjoy your time here at UNT. All right, so just some general next steps for students as you guys are starting to explore your options and beginning to think about your college journey. So the application process. Make sure you know what is required for your application to be considered complete. It's different, every school has different requirements, so be aware of what those are, whether or not there's an application fee, if transcripts need to be sent, if letters of recommendation, essays, or test scores are required. For UNT, that's going to be an application fee or fee waiver, your transcripts, and test scores. So if you are looking at other schools or just UNT, just make sure you keep in mind what is needed for your application. If you do need letters of recommendation, whether that be for an application or for a scholarship, I always recommend asking early. So typically 4 to 6 weeks in advance, give them plenty of time to write your letter so that you're not stressing to make sure you get that letter on time and making sure that you're not putting too much pressure on your reference. And of course, apply as early as possible, or at least work on what you can. So if you're waiting to take the SAT or ACT, or you're waiting on a letter of recommendation for your application to be complete, you can work on those essays, or you can start sending those transcripts over, or you can start reviewing your application so that whenever you do get that final piece, you can get that submitted and your application will be considered complete. Any questions, you can contact admissions at unt.freshman@unt.edu. I know Sandra can definitely answer any questions that you have for admissions. And another great tip that I've learned is explore housing options early. So start looking at residence halls you might be interested in, figuring out what kind of residence hall you want to live in, and just figure out what you as an individual would like to do living on campus your first year. All right, scholarships and financial aid. I know for me, this was a big thing every year. And these are just some important things that I've noted throughout my time as a college student. So apply early and apply for everything. The worst thing that they can say is no. They're not going to take money away from you for applying for a scholarship. So to apply to unique scholarships, you never know what will happen. Like I said, the worst thing they can say is no. They're not going to take money away from you. FAFSA opens every year on October 1st. Apply even if you don't think you'll qualify or you don't think you need it, and apply even if you don't know where you're going yet. It's super important to just get that FAFSA application complete and submitted. So just fill it out every year that you're going to be attending school, and it must be done each academic year. So October 1st, a super important date to keep in mind. And complete the UNT's general scholarship application once you have been admitted. Any specific information about about financial aid and scholarships, you can contact them at financialaid@unt.edu. Okay, sorry, I got a little lost there. All right, so study tips. The way that you study now might not be the same way that you study in college. That's totally okay. So be willing to explore other study methods. I definitely study very differently than I did in high school. And a lot of how I figured out how to study and be successful now is through my friends and talking to my professors. So explore different study methods. If you usually study through flashcards, maybe you need to start writing things down, or maybe you just need to record the lectures and listen back to them. So be willing to explore different study methods if you are struggling your first couple semesters on campus. Figure out where and when you study best during your first semester. Your first semester is going to be really crucial to kind of finding that adjustment and being able to make that successful transition to the college life. So do you study best or individually or in a group setting? Do you study best in a quiet area or an area with background noise? In high school, I was always an independent, super quiet area studier. But since arriving at college, I've become a group setting and background noise area studier. So I like to go to Starbucks with people from my class. That's how I kind of study best. So I've definitely been struggling during this pandemic because I have to study alone in my apartment. So that's definitely been an adjustment. I've had to find new ways, but definitely just kind of figure that out. Make friends in class so that if you are a group studier, you can always go to the library, you can go down to the union and you're able to study with those friends. So a general study rule that I was taught throughout undergrad, and I think is a really great gauge to understanding what your course load for this semester is going to look like and how you should organize your schedule. So typically you should be studying or working 2 hours per week for each credit hour that you're taking. So if you are enrolled in 12 credit hours for the semester, you should typically be spending 24 hours a week on schoolwork. So I know that sounds like a lot of time and a lot of devotion to your courses, but schoolwork can be studying, homework, working on essays, any other assignments. So it's really quite a collective, writing discussion posts, just reading assignments. So just also keep that in mind, it's not 24 hard hours of studying. So this rule is not hard and fast by any means, but it just gives you a general idea of the amount of time and effort that needs to go into your coursework each semester. So just something to keep in mind when you're kind of debating between taking 12 credit hours or 15 credit hours for the semester. All right, so one big takeaway I want you guys to take away from my presentation is it's okay to not know what you want to do right away. That's what college is for. It's okay to start college as undecided or switch your major in the middle of your undergraduate career. I was an animal science pre-vet major up until the middle of my junior year. I ended up switching to animal science pre-nursing at the end of my junior year, and I still ended up choosing a completely different path. That's totally okay. You find who you want to be and what you want to do through your coursework and your involvement. If I didn't become involved in higher ed and student affairs during my university experience, I would not be where I am, and I would have never found my passion for working in student affairs and working in higher education. So that's another big piece of why getting engaged and involved is super important. You're going to find out who you want to be and what you want to do through your involvement on campus. All right, so thank you guys so much for coming to my virtual presentation. If you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer them. It can be about the office or any of just those general tips that I had. If you think of any questions after this presentation or just have any questions in the future, you can always contact our office at freshman@unt.edu.
All right, thank you so much, Lauren. I have one question. So for all of the links that are in your presentation, is there any way to get those emailed or sent to the students? The presentation doesn't work for visually impaired, so the reader doesn't read what's on the slides. So those presentations, those links, we would need to get those sent out. So if there's any way, I have the email addresses and things like that we need. But
yeah, I can get that sent to you.
Okay.
All right, awesome.
Does anyone else have any other questions? Great. Well, I will definitely send those links to you, Pauline. And if you think of anything else, feel free to reach out to us. And any of those links, the admissions link is in that, was also in the slide. And my name is Chandra Fugit. So I'll make sure I put my email in there as well if you want
Yes,
to reach
I'll
out.
get those links to you right after I hop off this meeting.
Great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Paulina, for coming.